Calamera all, or welcome to Geek, Feng, Shui. I'm your hosting game master, Bob Sellers, Jr. Shout out to our friends at Cata Brewing here in Casa Manival, under pressure in Golden Valley, and of course south by southeast in beautiful Pine Island. Or venues of similar nature near you and yours, family, pet, kid, fun-friendly, fun-filled, chillaxation stations. Pet-friendly, whether it's indoors or outdoors, depending upon the food rules and regulations in your area. Check them out. In Minnesota, at least you can get a passport and go around and get a stamp and a free pint. Something to think about for a Christmas season commitment. Be a great stocking stuffer. Just saying. Check out my books at sellersjr.com, my overall website at geekfengshui.com, and this channel, which we appreciate if you like, subscribe, setting the bell, and commentary, which is moderated due to the troll infusion. But yeah, comments, likes in particular, whether it's my videos or others that you happen to be watching, please like them. It helps show the creators that their efforts are worthwhile, and if you feel like subscribing and setting the bell, that's great as well. So consider that. Today we're going to continue I'm doing a Morgan Death Night on the new server that I'm doing. I decided I'm going to make Benediction my server. For both, I'm going to be moving over several of my alliance characters thanks to a bonus we got at work. So I'm going to take advantage of the bulk move and move several of them over simply because I want to. The alliance on this server are just cray and there's very low horde. So to give you an example, I was leveling up. I think I saw two. One of them ganked me in Ultima, so I would give him credit for that. So we just got to Mount Hyjal. I got all my gear up. Got rid of all of my inheritance gear, as I refer to it. The thing I'm trying to show here by doing this is Hyjal is a completely different experience as Alliance on this server than it is on Horde. And Horde, you come in, everybody's red. You're the only Horde. Last Horde I went is the character I'll be profiling. I have it 83 is my Paladin on the Horde side. I will be doing a video on. I went through all of Hyjal without getting ganked once, but then again, she is Paladin, and she is typically the avoid Paladins. So I thought I would show. We're standing here as we start out. When you first hit 80. It's updating Questy. You get what's called a summons. Now there's two places you can go. You can go in Hyjal or you can go to Underwater World. I generally don't go underwater. It's an area that this year I've tried it. Didn't really care for it. It was a over here. The Horde side. So I'm used to the Horde side, as you can tell, playing mostly Horde of late. Now at 75, you can get up to the last level of mining and skinning. I'll get into why this character does mining and skinning here in a minute. But so when I got to 75, I went to places to farm minerals and do skinning until I had to come to Hyjal. The disadvantage of going to Hyjal before you're 80 and have the portal to get there is that if you die in Hyjal, you will you have to take the death down below and wait 10 minutes. Now that I have the supposed portal, let's see, to the depths I don't want. Let's finish. Oh, I know one. Over to the thing here. I have to pick up the quest at the tech, I believe. You can always do for sure later. I'm still going to level some of my lower level. I'm going to leave Alliance, so I'll have several left. I think 3 or 4 85s left over. Once I get everybody moved over, and I'll have the rest of my Alliance I have. For the most part, I plan to play on this server for several reasons. One is that the marketplace on both sides is much, well, obviously the Alliance side is much better. Horde side is not as much because there's very few Horde. And I'm going to activate my second account for at least a couple months to transfer stuff over and be able to make it for the guild we have over there. Now, the reason I'm doing mining and skinning is simply to gather the minerals and the skinning. There's a thing called a boost that people call. I think it's more urban legend than they make it out to be. But what a boost is for, and I first heard the term, I didn't quite understand, so I looked into it, and it has to do with farming fast spawns. Now, in this case, in Hyjal, I sort of did that with skinning along the road where the snake guys run up and down. I just sat and skinned them over and over and over, because they're level 80 and they're safe to do for the most part. Once you're 76 or 78, I didn't have much of a problem. Now I'm geared better and wouldn't have any problem with them. But when you get into Deep Home, which you can't get to until 82, there's dragons that are weakened and fall to the ground, and you get some nice scales from them, leather workers. So I'm bringing a leather worker over, and those go for quite a bit there. And the Alliance tries to own that area. You don't get it's dragon scale. I don't know if it's burnt dragon scales. I can't remember. Blackened dragon scale, I think is what it is. You get leather, and you get those that drop on occasion, and those can make some nice leg enchants. But I couldn't figure out why they were mining or farming them, and so we said, well, that's for the boost. So what people have done is they party up and just go sit, and so have somebody farm that, and that gets XP really fast and furious. I have never thought about skinning in Deep Home, to be honest, outside of when I needed that stuff. It didn't occur to me that I could really get some nice XP. So I guess what I'll be doing once this character hits 82. Now, the other is mining is really good XP, and you get some good minerals. See, if I was on my Horde character, there'd be all kinds of alarms going off from Spy. So we can get rid of a level 80 food. And they will hold off and let's since those are more expensive. I will hold off on that because I really don't generally need a lot here. As you see, I've been mining and skinning. my mail is off to one of my characters just to, so we'll probably be doing a bunch of skinning. So my leather worker comes over, she will be able to use all of that stuff. Just over here. Anyway, so yeah, that's with this character I'm going to go over and do some. I tried doing it on my horde, and every time I go there, there's usually a bunch of alliance doing the dragons, and now I understand why. They're boosting characters, which is not against the rules. It's a function where they, because there's no, unlike with Deep Home you can't get to until 82 anyway. You can't get there early. So what they're doing is they're trying to get somebody from 82 to 85 in a hurry. Yeah, I had to fly all the way over here and careful not to die. The other thing that's funny is with my mount that has the vendors, the vendors are not on that mount when you're in an area like this if you're not supposed to be here yet, which is fine. I've run into my usual issues with DPS along the way. Some from this server, some from Whitemane of all places, where DPS assumes that they don't need to have a tank and they go storming off and causing a ruckus and just bad all the way around. Particularly when you get, I was in a run with, it had 4, I think I don't know if this is 10, there's 4 nearby. Yeah, when I was going over an Oldham, I went to a node and I saw this rogue come by. I thought I'll stop. And he cloaked and yeah, he came and got me. He was 85 and I was 77, I think. So. Heirlooms don't really do you. You need certain item levels to get into the Cataclysm dungeons. And heirlooms are obviously level or gear score 1. So I went and bought some greens from the auction house because the Alliance side has stuff in the auction house, so the Horde side does not typically. I've had to bring stuff over from the Alliance. Once I get through these initial quests here, I'll try to do a dungeon or 2 and see how that goes. But it is nice to be at least one of my factions be in the majority. I've learned playing the minority is fun. Doing it on both servers, it gets kind of old. So I had the choice of either playing Horde over there, or playing Horde here. So I chose Horde here. I'm going to bring my alliance over because I don't really have a reason to do much with them in the state that they are in. So on this server, I can stockpile stuff and then send it over to the Horde side. Because the dragon scale I was telling you about sells apparently for 25 gold a pop, and it takes 5 to make the leg enchant. There's another thing that takes 20. I can't remember what that is. If that's the cape. So I don't know if I got credit for that because the guard killed me. On the Horde side, a lot of the PvPers have moved servers over to Farolina, I think, because they have much better rating over there where the populations are higher. So the Alliance really has become the stronger majority on this server. There's still some people that play Horde, like myself, and run across others, but I don't think they really understand, or if they do, they don't care, which is fine too. Yeah, the advantage of having flight is immense, particularly when you're doing mining or herbing or whatnot, so that if you have if you're doing a profession that requires a lot of herbs, having a max level that can go out and farm them helps you level that faster than you would just picking them. In some areas, you can get way ahead of the game. But having 2 gathering professions is really good for leveling. But going back to that party with the DKs, I had myself saying, I mark myself and I say, don't pull. And this one DK went off, and me and the other 3, they weren't all from the same server. 2 of them were from the same server. 1 was not. And then there was a healer and well, the other 3 went off and kept pulling, and I told them to stop, and they died off and came back. And to be honest, I don't know if that was a bot, what was going on, but I pulled the trick to getting rid of them is I pretended I was booting myself, so I picked them and decided to kick and said bad tank, and lo and behold, they were kicked. And, from an ignore list, and you don't see them anymore. The healer left. It was really slow queuing, so I didn't get the 30-minute timer that they got. More of those. Keep that for a future. So about 1 inch, 289. Green helms and blade and stuff that are really cheap. If you get into the blues or the purples, you're going to be getting into quite a bit more. And I use D&D Death and Decay to pull stuff, whereas There are some that say you should always have one of those stuff you're doing. There's arguments made both ways. What I get a kick out of is when you're running around and somebody tries to tell you how to play your character. So I just say, really, what character are you playing, ours or mine? Clearly, I'm mistaken. Browns and Steelers are playing tonight. Quick gold. Long while back when leveling a horde character, I actually had someone who came by the alliance. I could tell they switched over to their horde tune just to tell me that this was an alliance only server. So yeah, there's a lot of assumptions that the alliance make just because they're the majority. If you play like turkeys, there's a reason that nobody. They just make a lot of assumptions that they don't. I particularly enjoy the AFKers. So I will hunt them on my horde. You don't rarely very see many horde AFKers, but when I saw I can go AFK, nobody's gonna kill me. Yeah, about that. I have a better thing. I'm just gonna keep that handy. Now, generally, I don't need to do any more mining here until I have a character that needs mining because it's maxed out. If you're wondering, mining is normally 525 and so is skinning, but since I'm Worgen, they have a boost, so I can go up to 540. There are some things I've run into that needed a higher level in some dungeons to skin. I was watching an interesting video back in the early days. Apparently, you could get out of the Worgen starting area through a little trick of using the stuck function and not have your characters always in human form. Was never, and I tried it, but I think they fixed it. Essentially, you go to a spot, say you're stuck, and it puts you in the nearest cemetery. Unfortunately, the cemetery was still within the area because you're locked in until level 12 to the starting area of the Worgen. What's nice about doing this as an alliance, you'd be surrounded by alliance if you're a horde doing it. You have to wonder if you're attacking. Accidents do happen. Back in the days of retail, I had often found myself questing with opposite faction, whether it was alliance and they were horde or vice versa. And as long as you don't use AoEs, but once there's a mistake, you can't tell if something's by accident. I was farming the dragons, and there was another character that came by, alliance, and you could, take different sides, and they kept trying to kill off my pet. So I said, all right, enough's enough. I brought the army of dead and got my first kill in. There is a tangible difference between mid 80s and mid 70s, because I could come up here and do in my 70s and take on the level 80s to skim, but I've tried doing that anything higher than 80. The armor difference, because you do get nicer armor level 80 and above. Yeah, there's a lot of people that assume it. I think they're used to just doing it, not getting called out in etiquette of randoms. And then they try to do guild rules as far as roles and say, why are you rolling on something that's for tailoring or jewel crafting? And say, listen, it's a die roll, it's open to everybody. And even if it's not me involved, if people that will complain, it's like this, it's bind on pickup is different than BO, bind on equip. And many people only have one character, so they don't understand what the big deal is trying to equip other members of your village, as it were. I got all the pieces here. I met with somebody. My blood worms after somebody. Yeah, when I came here with my horde, I fully expected to have to rise several times, and I didn't. I was quite impressed. Could have been time of day. Who knows? I did have to laugh when I was farming an album, as I had in the knee-jerk reactions playing horde. If the alliance comes and lands on the same villager, do you take off once? It's their alliance. I didn't have to do that. And for those that said, well, wait a minute, aren't you alliance? Leo hates the horde. I said, no, that was on White Man, because horde were the. There's also another fun thing, is there is a node in here that you have to be careful mining. Of course not. This is the boss you end up doing. He starts doing what you see those flames come out, will kill you off and hurt him. No, didn't get there in time. Got it. And somebody else that tries to go in there won't have to deal with the same thing. Once you get out of combat here, I'll show you the quest that you do for the first dungeon. You don't have to do it, but it gives you some good XP. Is you go down, I think it's over here. You take the tunneler down. If you go into the dungeon itself, it basically takes you to the same place. The idea here is, I think it's Blackrock Caverns. So yeah, you can almost get 2 complete levels out of, you do all of Hyjal. Which on a horde is tricky because of some of the lines, particularly some of the side punchers. I'll get into those, this character. So you can see all this easy choke points that you have. So this is on the first dungeons you run into Blackrock Caverns. And if you don't do this little quest and you come in, you have to pick it up. But now I got it. And not one you can solo at this level. Yeah, so I don't have any of the XP boosts that I had when I was wearing the heirlooms. So this is where you pick up this guy. And you go over where this flame guy says eventually you'll go up to Now we need to go find another one of those guys. Again, when you're doing it as Horde, you really got to keep your eye out because they'll see you going around and do this quest. That's what will get you. So now you get another one. This is one. It's probably better off being there for the time being because what you do is you go in while he's not doing his little explosive thing. You chain or channel it. If you go through, and then you become a human or living bomb. So when he's doing that, I'm going to take in my quest. I got a restores life. So do that in 2. Now it'll bounce you up in the air and hopefully this. So my plan is to help get faster flying on farmers on both sides. If they all come together with said bonuses, you get the characters moved on my token on each side, and I'm going to fire up my WoW 2 for 60 days. Blizzard has been very nice. I open it to you. Can you activate it for 24, 40? And they'll activate it for 48 hours. And I think I'm pushing my grace with them on that. But I'm curious if you do this mod, because when I was here before, when I was, yeah, you see the vendors are there. When I was here in my 60s, when I wasn't supposed to be here, they were not on there. And one of the things you'll notice on here, if you come here as a player, you don't do any questing. There's certain areas that are phased where it doesn't seem to be any bad things. But later on, if you go through and do it, those same areas full of bad things is not as deadly. I think that's intentional for people trying to come up here for the first time. It's an interesting area to say the least. I did run into somebody who did not apparently have flying because they were doing all their running around on the ground, which was good for me because they had to kill off those things I was skinning and they weren't skinning and they eluded them and I just cut them and got credit for it. So, yeah. In all Hyjal, there's a lot of what I call pocket or area quests, and one of them is coming up when we go down underground. You have to do an escort. If you're going to get ganked, it's probably going to be it. This is one right here. Not all the time. When I was doing it as my horde, I ran into some alliance and they left me alone. I left them alone. I think for the most part on both sides, there's people like I say, I'm just questing. But then there are some that are particular to one side or the other. Just can't stand the fact that now that I am friendly, I can look at a tabard. And so as I quest, I'll get my beard up there. Stuff you can buy. Each area has a tabard. There are other areas and other parts of WoW have that as well. I think to get certain bag recipes, like for the, I want to make the bigger herbing bags, for example. Certain vendors sell it. In order to buy it, you have to be revered with that particular faction. Distracted from watching football. Russell Wilson just had the ball knocked out of his hand. It's kind of funny. He's running with the ball. So it's like, wait a minute, am I supposed to have a football in his hand? But essentially, what I plan to do with the marketing on this server is the same thing I did on the other one. Back when Whitemane has gotten rather quiet of late on both sides. So I don't know if people have left it to go to busier servers. It would be nice if they were able to merge Horde heavy server with a Alliance heavy server. But they're east and west. I don't know if we can do that. We should come up with a central one. Open world PvP would be a lot more fun. I hate these quests like this with a mage or some lightweight character because these things pack a punch, but with a tank. And I have a gank coming out of this right here. So I think we go back there. So I'll go see if I can get a tabard yet. Because you can go down and see with your reputation. Like I'm honored with Geek Feng Shui. I'll show you the vendor. You kind of saw it when I came in, but I wasn't talking about it at the time because I couldn't buy anything from it. Some of them are worthwhile, some of them are not. I happen to have a illustrious guild because you can send these cross server and cross faction for that matter. So we'll come over to this. This is the vendor. So if I buy, so you can see how these come up. There's some nice things, particularly at 85. So what I will do, I'll start wearing this tabard. So these are binds to accounts. So once I have someone that can get it, I can send it cross server. Those other ones obviously I can't because we're bind on pickup. But so now we'll see how soon I go up with Hyjal. I think I'll queue up for a dungeon. Is it the first 7 I think you do each week, you get justice points. So if you keep doing regularly, you'll have quite a bit by the time you get to 85. For those that are curious, the Cataclysm dungeons are Blackwater Caverns and Throne of Tides. Or you can do the rogues. I don't bother with the rogues. Maybe the Cataclysm rogues. Typically, you don't have the same problems with these that you do with, we'll find out, lower level. I'm guessing I'm going to get the Black Rock. It's usually the first one you get. Let's see. Several different ways you can split up. Yeah, so it's Black Rock. Somebody did Army of Dead start on. These are not mine. Or did I do Army of Dead rather than? So that means I'm going to move this away from that so I don't make that mistake in the future. There's my bloodworms. Decided to go attack. Yeah, some foolish tank did his army of. What idiot! Oh, that was me. Some people are getting in the way of Raz here. This is a weird one because you pick up quests as you go, then you have to go turn them in before you do the middle guy pad. There's a portal that you can take to do it. You come down here, it'll pick up the quest as you come to the end of this. And people do skip this boss only to find out Raz does not show up. Let's see if anybody needs it. Yomia is a hunter, and I will not fight that. So this is where Raz will not show up. I don't know why it zooms in when you take the portal, but it does at least for me. I'm here for the XP. Most people will skip by all this trash. This will probably be the first time in a long time that I've managed to get all the quests. Usually you get two and then they go rushing off and they don't let you go back and turn them in. If you're in combat, you can't take savage leather and Joe asks people to share, but I have a buttload of it on. Now, there are times if nobody needs on that, I will need on it only to get the beer score. And I want it. So it was like a 308. I think is male. Yeah. So then we got plate. So that's tempting, but then I lose a 5% bonus at plate. So, yeah. So now what I'll do is I'll go sell this crap. And we'll do the next dungeon on purpose. So you can see if you're not familiar with it. You do make a lot of gold. We have the high end and the high end stuff here. So what I'll do now is I'll queue for just the specific dungeon so you don't see the same one over and over again. So we did Blackrock. Now, there's no quests that I'm aware of in Traumatized unless you go to where it starts and then get them from there. So let's queue up here. May or may not take a while. Usually at these high level ones, there's fairly quick queues. Now, with this one, there's two, you come to a T in the road after you come back down, and I generally don't do the one to the right, so it's just a pain in the ass quest line, pardon my French. Now, when you kill these two off, the three, they're kind of drop their loads. Because when you kill one now, they come at a regular interval, so you're this is where it can be kind of fun. When I don't lose the By the way, when I bring my other characters over, I'll have gear for. This is a stupid elevator design. Just saying, because if you are not on here right, it goes all the way up and you have to wait for it to come back. Or you can just miss it as you're fighting that boss. Not boss, like trash, whatever you want to call them. Typically, I have not spent a whole lot of time in Hyjal. So I questing, I mean, so I do the dungeons over and over and over again. For tonight, I'll go back and start doing the other areas so you can see more of it. So with this one, we conceivably could be 81. But you think you get bored watching me run the same dungeons over and over. I find it nice that I don't have to worry about the anchors that I do on the horde side when I'm here. There are DPS I'll go through and start pulling all this crap too. So if you're prepared for it, as nice as it is for gear score. I was desperate. I think on my healing pally, I might do all cloth with the healing just to be different. You can gear up pretty fast even if you don't get gear out of the auction house. I have it already saved up because as I go through this, way Feldman. If you let it play all the way out, then you never see it again. But long. You have to watch because he does that little circle of death. You don't realize you're standing in it, it kills you pretty dang fast. See, when I'm here on my paladin healer, there's hardly any healing plate. That's just funny. Oops. This one, they respawn, so you have to be careful. So if you look that way, you can do another boss one. I've been in too many runs to do it. And once you kill these two buggers, the gates open up. It's a fun little instance, but some stupidity to it. I'd almost rather just do Blackrock over and over again, to be honest. I've heard when this was originally designed, there was a lot more to it. It's short and sweet. There's just no quests or And once these are all dead, we grow really big and go attack this octopus, which I was recently in Italy and Greece and actually had leg of octopus. It's not deep fried, it was fried, but it was really good. More healing plate. Let's see, did I win anything? Oh, I did. And for gear score, I can get rid of my. And I got the healing plate, and I got the healing hands. Enough of those. Two for the price of one. And if I was on my horse, I'd be really watching out because lions would come along and see you fighting and suddenly, wait, what am I dying from? Hubris. It's really funny if a horde kills me here. So I got a guild increased by 137 and Hyjal. So as I'm doing quests, so might as well. I believe those were healing hands. Gear score next comes into play when you get to 84, because as you do some of the dungeons up to that, you have to be really geared up. Coming down to the edge of this is where you have your first little resting area. You're not 80, you gotta watch this because you can aggro. It's really snowing at the football game. I figured when I was on my horde, this is where I get ganked. I didn't get ganked at all. It's kind of nice. Usually you do, a lot. Of course, it can depend on your time of day, too. Kill these guys later, but this guy happened to be here. It's a zoned area, so sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't. See, he's ran away. It's weird zoning that goes on around here. I don't know if I stay in. Yeah, I go back to into combat. So once you clear this out and do the wolf quest, then you get vendors over here and quests. Little bloodworms go off and cause grief. Charge you. Well, I'm still here. We'll get something. Remind you to like, subscribe, set the bell, comment. Likes in particular, greatly appreciated. It's just the dislike button does absolutely nothing if you really don't like it. So you hit the like button 3 times. Mr. Ball suggests that for his videos. All his advice. So this is the zoning I was talking about as I hit my microphone. Because now, when I come up there and then we'll clear out that village, so if somebody comes in, has not done these quests, I don't think they'll see me. And if you go all the way through the next area where there's fire and stuff going on, once you go all the way through that becomes less greenery. Each of these areas has a faction tabard. It's a good thing to keep track of, much like in the rest of Cataclysm, there was other areas that did too. Useful stuff. So now I have quests here. Why I'm holding onto that helmet is because that way I can sort of away for the next plate wire that comes up. Now we come down, and this is the first, what I call the pocket area. I don't know if I get more dungeons at 81 or not. Let's see here. How about a question? Now we have quest grinding here. As long as you're not too worried about getting ganked, it's kind of fun. It's a fun little puzzle quest because, of course, Blizzard has to have its puzzles coming up, and you get it's kind of a they try to tell you new talent. I'm kind of following the Icy Veins suggestions. This is the pocket quest where you go into an enclosed area. When I was here with my horde, I did run into an alliance person. We just passed each other by. Nobody picked a fight. Of course, I was a paladin. They were a mage, I think. Might have been a priest. And as you advance in this quest area, there comes a point where all of these are yellow to you. You can see if there's any. Yep, we get stone core and vortex spackle. So I'll do one of those. The horde side of this server is pretty quiet. The reason I'm not going to get the key for that is because we do this other quest down here. All these guys become friendly for a little while. Coming up, there's going to be 4 books, and you have to click them in order to get the thing to appear right. Because you have earth, air, fire, and water. And so you see how it tells you fire, earth, wind, and tears. So you go fire, earth, Am I going too early? Yeah, I have to start over because you mess it up in the order and you have to go back. Fire, earth. See, all these are yellow now, so they don't attack you. So now I can go kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Is I can go get that key for that guy and escort him out. Little trick to remember. Because we only have to fight this guy. Which is good XP, but I guess this is the second part. The other one was when I went and got that escort out of the other place. If you're going to get jumped, that would be it. So now you escort those out. Normally, if you're escorting them, all those big ogres are attacking you. That's why they aren't. Which way around in here? Usually a weird node somehow gets stuck. I don't know if there's a way to get it from this side or not. It's almost a trap because if you go down to get it, I screwed up here where I jumped in. So then what you got to do, get a hearth out. I went into the trap. You could do the slash, the stuck they have thing here if I wanted to, but live and learn. Good news is I have the portal, so it isn't quite the pain it would have been. If I was not 80 and didn't have access to the area, I would have been resing, it was res down below. But if I died and had to take a death buff for 10 minutes. I'm not gonna worry about that node. There's a trick to getting it and then getting out of it because I got in to get it and got almost thought I was stuck. Oh, there's a mage. One of my guildies doesn't know it's me. What did I say about Horde not going? Well, if you kill somebody here, the guards kill you. So you really don't want to do that. I'll have to tell them what to prove me wrong. That's too fun. Laughing Coffins is the Horde guild I'm a member of. Did not join an alliance guild because, to be honest, the alliance on this server, I mean, the Horde has its bad eggs too, but for the most part, the alliance on this server just get overconfident and cocky, and that's why I came here as Horde, because I ran into so much trouble when I was leveling my alliance for white man, do 5-mans. Now there's a couple other servers I run into issues on. If I go to my friends list, it's Faralina and Pagel and Altish. Pagel in particular are usually the ones I run into issues with the most. Faralina, I've had problems with some of the players in both Alliance and the Horde. Browns taking it to the Steelers. 2-8 team. It's going to be an 8-2 team. So I'm doing another instance. What I'll do is I'll go up and do this lightning in a bottle thing. Show you a bit of another quest that leave you exposed. How do I come over here? I don't understand that. Another red to me. Coming up here looking for I'll do that after me. So Hunter. In hardcore, this is kind of the problem where you have these, you kill something and it immediately respawns. I need three more of those. Others which are fun to find. This is another one. If the other opposite faction is in here, you're in tight quarters. And you collect cores here, and you have to go smash them on the forge. And get 8 of them. 12. I think I can break it over here. One extra. Problem is when you have another faction down here, as you see them and realize we need to kill. It's like, no. A misunderstanding is happening. Now what you can do, I need to show you. So if I wanted to, you can show the bar along with your XP bar for a specific reputation, so you can keep an eye on. There's two other portal quests that you'll get to come into. Are much long. One is a flying one where you have to pick up a lance and shoot, and there's another one that's a lot like this where you go and do one and do the other and do one, back and forth. army does help with this. If they first spawn, they won't aggro to you right away. There's like a timer. I might keep this belt, even though I like the one I have better for the hit rating. That takes you on to the next area here. I think I have time to do one more instance and then we'll call it a video because it gets to be a long video. That's the first part of Hyjal. I'll show you the road I was talking about. There's a flight master. I'll go over here. I'm not going to do these right now. You do a lot of these quests. Once you get this next part done, you come up, this will all be lush. The fires will be out and everything will be nice. But this is where I was going along this road, skinning the charbringers. until level 80, and it can be handled. I was handling them at 77, 76. But if you try to go anywhere higher, like if I go to Oldham and do the crocodiles, that's a different story. They were a little tougher. Speak to this guy. It's a little quest. It takes a while to figure out that these are the things you have to kill for these blueberries. First time I was here anyway. Way back when. Got a trinket, which I will take. Gear score. Anyway, we're going to go up here to this next Western, then I'll do this is call it a video, so close we are to 82. Flight master there. do a couple of these initial quests because they're kind of fun. All right. So now I'll queue up after I go repair here. See how close to. We will go for. We'll do store. We'll see which one we get. Now I get some eggs. Oops, the key popped. You don't have flying, it'd be difficult to get down to this. Up above, you just have too many situations where you can draw a crowd of these things. We'll do the vortex. I don't think we'll have quests yet. The quests don't come until. So we will just be getting XP. One of these like this guy will just die off. Game-winning field goal in blizzard conditions. Just when I said some DTS wasn't going to pull that guy, I went and pulled it. I don't tolerate that crap. Especially when you're waiting for your healer to get mana. For those that don't know, that green circle keeps them healed, so you want to pull this one, and there's another dragon we'll run into that do the same thing. I'm not impressed with this DPS group. No, this is fine. You gotta have a distance person. See what they're doing. That you can skip this dragon by going around the side. I just choose not to. This dungeon is really, really long. It's a nice trick and some bind whips. Actually open to everybody, but you see a bunch of them in the auction house. Now in heroic, those winds matter. They'll knock you around. I think eventually there's a hard mode you can get into as well. Now the Browns have the Steelers number. Black and Dragon Scale. That's the if I'm doing the dragons. Indie. Now these up here, not this one, but the next two that have the big triangle thing, you'll have two casters on the outside and you have to get them out. If they stay inside the triangle, they don't take damage. And rogue, that might wipe a party. Gonna be close. And yes, there's shortcuts here, but you can jump down. Now this last boss, when you're fighting him, he'll create a zone. You have to watch, because if you're not in that zone and he does his thing, you are almost instant kill. And usually somebody doesn't know. That was stupid. That was just sad. This is going entirely longer than I expected, so I don't think I'm going to do another instance in this video. Not have that happen. Usually when he jumps on you, it's safe to go out. We made it. Now we'll go back to the eggs. I think go along the other. I make too long of a video. Still recording a long one. Finish this quest. Air quest. I think we'll call it a video. I will go through and get up to 82, and then the next video will be into Deep Hole. And I can show you why I designed this character the way I did. But you got a flavor and a taste of on Hyjal. So if you do this up above, you end up getting complicated because there's a bunch of these. You'll have a whole circus. Yeah, I know that one person was being an idiot. But unless you've been through that and know what you're doing on there, that's how you learn. I don't like kicking somebody in the last boss. I don't care how bad. That one that pulled those two, and now that's a different story. Let that slide. There are some of my characters I have not quested at all here. Oh, that's right. Harpy fibers. So again, we're going to come back down here because there's too many of them up there. I have a choice to kill or release, and I try to be on the good side of evil. So this takes you down to other areas that you go on to. I would do that, but this video has gone on long enough. And I think we'll call it a video here. So, as we said coming in, say hello to our friends at Cata Brewing here in Casa Manaval, Under Pressure in Golden Valley, and South by Southeast in beautiful Pine Island, or venues of similar nature near you and yours, family, pet, kid, fun-friendly, fun-filled, chillaxation stations. For example, ours has a game room of board games, card games. You go in there and play. Bring your own in. You can bring your pets. Here in Casson, pets are outside because they serve food inside. Other places, like Under Pressure, they can be inside because they don't serve food. But you can order food and have it delivered or bring it yourself and enjoy the ambiance. But yeah, check them out. Check out my books at sellersjr.com, my overall website, geekfangshui.com, this channel, which we appreciate if you like, subscribe, setting the bell, and commentary, which is moderated due to the trolls. Please liking a video, whether it's mine or others on YouTube, helps the creators know that their efforts are worthwhile and should continue. I'm doing this for fun. I'm not paid to do it. I'm just having fun sharing, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao. Like, subscribe, set the bell, comment, please like.